Running backs, Duke Johnson, if he's on your waiver wire, he should be rostered immediately.
Yeah, I think Duke is my #1 priority this week.
Yeah, I agree with that one. And then Ronnie Hillman, if for some reason he's still out there, he has a chance to really, take the lion's share of carries if he continues to succeed with big plays like that. He was 11 for 103 this past week with a touchdown. What do we think about Antonio Andrews? Because a lot of people might have snagged him last week on waivers. He does not have a good matchup this week against the Bills front line. Do we think Andrews has the potential to – could he give you a spot start on a bye week?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Right now it looks like he will be the main ball carrier in Tennessee. We talked about Terrence West, who was traded for, has already become healthy scratch, and Bishop Sankey, his snap count plummeted, and clearly the improvement just has not been there for Sankey, so they got to do something. And so Antonio Andrews was a guy who kind of flashed here in the off season, and it was talked about a little bit, not a very ton.
He got a lot of preseason carries, and he looked good in the preseason.
But he's worth rostering.
Okay,
at this point, I'm not sure I would start him this week. But
that's what I was going to ask you. Would you start him over? Let me see here. Matt Jones?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
What about Amir Abdullah?
Oh man, no.
What about Ryan Matthews?
Yeah, Ryan Matthews. That whole situation is really interesting in Philadelphia. I'll sidetrack a little bit, but we have no idea what's going on. Murray is being a pain in the buttocks up there, jawing off to the media.
Give me more carries
on the sideline.
Give me more carries.
And do you really feed into that? Like, if you're Chip Kelly, do you let him push you into that? A guy who
I have no idea.
Who seems to want to always be in control, and he does everything his way. Is he going to let a player earn more carries going that route?
It's pretty frustrating because obviously Bradford and Kelly recruited him heavily to come there and be the lead dog. And so if he doesn't feel he's getting the opportunity, he's expressing that he wants to win. I don't think Murray's a bad guy, but it seems like a distraction when you're 1-3 and your priority is give me more carries versus let's win. Let's find a way to win the game.
And also when you're running so terribly. I mean, that's the real hardship. If he was running well, he's breaking off 5 yards of carry and saying, get me the ball more. But it's like, what? Why should we be giving you the ball more? Every time we give you the ball, we're 3 and out.
Right. And so last week, DeMarco Murray was 8 for 36. That included a 30-yard run.
Also known as 7 for 8.
The rest of those. That would be 7 for 6.
LaDainian Tomlinson came out and said he thought Matthews was a better fit.
And Ryan Matthews, I don't know what his longest one. I'm looking it up right now, but I believe he was 4 for 20. And he had a great week when DeMarco Murray was out. It's just, how long can that situation continue before somebody really emerges?
All right, Boobie Dixon, Anthony Dixon could get the start this week. If he's out there, would you rather start him or Andrews? Like if someone had to make a waiver wire decision between the two.
100% for me, Boobie Dixon over Andrews this week, assuming that Carlos and LaShawn are out. I am not personally buying into Antonio Andrews. It's a tough week 1 matchup. We've only had 1 week where he's actually received the carries, and so we just don't know. He's worth rostering, but I would almost start anyone over. I don't have the cojones to start Andrews up against the Bills when you don't even know that he's going to get the lion's share.
Yeah, I'd go with Dixon.
Well, you have a situation too this week where Chris Ivory's out, Lamar Miller's out, AP's out. So you do have.
Has Lamar Miller really been in?
No, he's still out.
This is a mercy week for the Dolphins. This is like the NFL saying, we knew this was going to come. Please,
yeah, but
take a week, mourn your loss.
I agree with you, Jason. I mean, Andrews was not on the field a ton. He still rotated with Sankey. He just was the better performing back in terms of fantasy production. So, is there any other running backs you guys want to mention? We got Charles Sims having a good week for the 2nd week in a row. He's doing it in the passing game a little bit.
Yeah, Sims is a nice spot start option, I think, just because of the way Tampa is playing right now, getting him on the field because of trailing in games. Which Doug Martin had a pretty good game, so I'm not completely gung ho on Charles Sims, but Chris Thompson I think is another name.
I want to talk about him in that backfield
because the snap count seemed to swing more towards
Washington
Alf.
Redskins, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It swung more towards Alfred Morris after the Matt Jones fumble.
And
into
they
the end
won.
zone.
They won again.
Yeah, but Thompson is still getting a large snap count.
He had one less carry than Matt Jones. He averaged 8.8 a carry in the last game, and he also catches passes out of the backfield. He was 2 for 24. The game before, he caught like 8 balls. Let me ask this. Matt Jones seems like he's fallen off quite a bit.
It was I think it's the fumble.
You know, if they're down, Chris Thompson's involved. And apparently when they're competitive, he's gotten involved this week. So he starts to look a little bit safer than he's looked in weeks past, but you still got 3 guys in that backfield.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, you're rolling the dice when you go with the Washington running back, but
Yeah.
Chris Thompson, he looks better and better.